Hello and welcome. This is reading for our sun sign in Aquarius. You may also be feeling this if your rising or moon is in Aquarius for November 2024. November is a very big month for a lot of reasons. We have Pluto finally entering the sign of Aquarius middle of the month. So first half of the month, we are wrapping things up. For you, our Aquarius is particularly significant because you are wrapping up your 12th house. Pluto having gone through your 12th house for the last 20 years, there's been a lot of completions, finishing, maybe even old karma with people who have come through your life, maybe are no longer in your life. But you have a chance above all other signs for a fresh start with Pluto entering into your first house. It could also be a little intense because you've got the planet of total transformation crossing over your sun, and depending on where your sun is in Aquarius will be whether it is, sooner rather than later. And, I'd have to do a birth chart for you to take a look at that, which we can offer. But it could be a total transformation of how you see yourself, how you perceive yourself, how you identify, or possibly even a change of careers, or whatever it is that makes you you is going through a transformation. So it's best to lean into it, embrace it, and flow with Pluto. You cannot fight Pluto. You need to embrace that change. And just accept that and consciously create maybe a better version of you would be a great way to look at it. All right, here we go. So here's the aspects. November 1st, we have the new moon in Scorpio. So it's a great time for new intentions. Scorpio being a very passionate sign as well. Maybe spend time with a loved one or plan some new ideas around the beginning of the month. Mercury will be sextile Pluto also at that time, so communication with regards to any changes or transformations should go very well. November 2nd, Mercury enters the sign of Sagittarius, which is the sign of truth. Most of the month, Mercury is still direct, so if there's anything you need to complete or button up with regards to contracts, you want to do it before Thanksgiving, because around Thanksgiving, that's when November 26th, that's when Mercury will go retrograde, okay? November 3rd, we have Mars in your 4th house, which rules the house of home, opposite to Pluto. That could be a bit of a tense day at home. I would avoid any arguments, maybe just get out and go for a great walk, get some exercise, or if there is anything you need to discuss, do it while you're walking or playing badminton or doing something physical, so that you take the energy and you use it well, because Mars is very energizing type of sign. Or maybe it's a day to do a little handiwork around the house. That would be a great way to, with the total transformation, that'd be a great way to utilize that energy rather than get into arguments, right? November 3rd, you have Venus opposite Jupiter again. That's, Venus rules luxury and Jupiter expansion. And with opposition like that, you certainly want to avoid any overspending on luxury items. So watch your budget. November the 9th, we have Venus square to Neptune. A loved one might not criticize, but might make you feel like some of your dreams are getting squashed. I don't know. So with that square, don't be overly sensitive to news that you receive, because you also, November 12th, have Mercury square Saturn. So there may be communication with regard to work. But if you squares also mean hard work. So if you do the work, the communication can go well. So I would say be disciplined with any deadlines that you have. That would be important for any of us. Venus enters the sign of Capricorn November 11th. So love is shifting from more passionate signs to more, let's talk about our finances, let's talk about our joint finances. That's where Venus is for a little bit, okay? Because Capricorn is business and finance. Middle of the month, we have Saturn stationary direct, and that is in your first house. So there might be some new ways to organize your work, being that that's in your first house. Projects that you've only been thinking about may actually take off now because it's stationary direct, Saturn and work and hard work. It's starting to move forward and pay off for you and take off. But just remember that on the actual day that Saturn is stationary direct, be patient, because anytime a planet is stationary direct, remember I've always said it's like the pause button. Leave 10 minutes early, be patient in traffic, okay? Expect some delays. But then once it starts moving, past November 15th, that Saturn and that organization and that work in your first house, which is new beginnings, should be quite positive. Yes, I think your work is going to improve for sure. November 18th, you have Mercury opposite Jupiter. So again, we've got a communication in opposition to Jupiter. For you is in your third house, which rules short journeys, brothers and sisters, or folks, family members, or friends that you consider like a brother or sister. So again, opposition is a little, not a flowy aspect. You want to have some give and take in your communication and your